Hey guys, okay, I'm just admitting all of these people in so we don't have any, any issues this time. One second, everyone. Marianne Anderson, my sweet dear friend. Okay, hang on one second, Marianne. I'm making sure everyone that's coming in is for real supposed to be in here. Lady Stark, that's Holly, right? She needs to change that name. That scares me every time she pops on. Shouldn't use the phrase pops when I talk. Sorry, that was inappropriate. Too much. Marianne, I don't know if you know this, but we had a hacker, 2 hackers.
I heard about your hacker because I tell all my leaders now, I'm like, get a password.
People be showing their junk on our Zoom. Okay, hang on one second. We're just gonna wait 30 more seconds as I'm entering all these people in. Okay, you guys, I'm so excited. Okay, so when Jordan and Joanna were at my house for our Diamond Doc, we were kind of talking about like who's in our close-knit circle that we run with, like power partners. And so obviously Jordan and Joanna are my power partners, but Marianne Anderson is in that little circle with us. Now, we may not be for her, but she is for us. And we are just so in love with her. And we have been able to watch her just flourish. I think you started in the fall of 2017, right?
Yeah, this is my 3rd year anniversary this month.
Yay! So she started 6 months after me. So it's been really fun to just watch her like fly through the ranks. And I just remember going to a coffee shop and listening to her on some like corporate call. And I think my hands were like on fire. There was smoke coming because I was just writing so many notes, because this woman is the girl next door. She is your best friend. Her story is amazing. She has 5 kids. She is a believer. She is intentional with her relationships. She is encouraging. We miscommunicated and she thought she was coming next week. I thought she was coming this week, and she was like, I can still do it. And so that just goes to show she is very much a like hashtag one plexus lady, and I absolutely love her, and I love her wisdom. And the other thing I love about Marianne is that she doesn't overcomplicate. She's not into drama. She is and when I say basic, I don't mean that as offensive, but she just does the basic things, which I think is so incredibly duplicatable. Even though she has 60 bazillion Instagram followers, she still is duplicatable. And so, Marianne, all of our people who are here tonight are so thrilled and have been so pumped to hear you, no pressure, but so pumped to hear you and your tips and your story and what's working for you and your duplication process and all those things. So I'm just going to pass it off to you. And if there is time at the end, we'll save this for some Q&A.
Oh my gosh, what an intro, Emily. Geez, can you introduce me to my family in the morning? Maybe that will help. Yeah, and y'all, I was going to totally get rid of the laundry baskets. And then I'm like, no, everybody just needs to see how it all goes down. I don't know how many of you guys, your kids started school. I have, my youngest is 3.5 and my oldest is 14. So it's really crazy having toddlers and teenagers at the same time, because I know where this is going, right? But I mean, we're super blessed. I homeschool. I also have some in brick and mortar school. And so if you have been on the struggle bus, with school starting, raise your hand. My head was twisting around on my body. It was crazy, but I promise you, I think 80% of people started school today, whether it's distance learning or whatever. You will get your bearings and you will find your new normal, and it's going to be okay. This is now our 3rd week and we're okay, we got it. I still have laundry baskets, but I would love, I'm just an interactive person. And so I would just love in the chat, if you guys just tell me what rank you are, how long you've been in Plexus. I just think that's really kind of fun to know. And if you have any questions, absolutely. But I just want to be here to encourage you guys. You know, we just hit, one of my girlfriends asked me, senior gold, yay. Emerald 10 months. Oh my goodness, so exciting. I know you guys just had insane, massive momentum, like unicorn momentum. I love it. Oh, this is so exciting. I really like what just happened the past 6 months. I mean, it was just truly incredible. But 3 years ago, y'all, I started Plexus. And I went silver 3 years ago this month. And I was just in my back office adding up my team. And we have over 7,000 people on our team. And I never, ever would have imagined 3 years ago, 7,000 people. Like, I just couldn't get three, right? And so, you know, as I kind of reflect back now over the past 3 years, have they been like this? Heck no. Have they been like this? Absolutely. And so, you know, I just kind of wanted to share with you guys some tips and some things that I have learned in my journey, because I have had seasons of pure insane momentum where I couldn't even think straight. And, you know, I was like this a lot of my day. I'm just going to be honest with you. And then I've had seasons of growth. I've had seasons of not wanting to open my messenger because I knew everybody was in detox, or, you know, leaders were not seeing results and not showing up every day, and seasons of my points going backwards. And so if you've ever been there, I have been there, you guys. And I certainly don't have it all figured out, but I feel like I'm in a good spot right now in my life. And of course, being diamond helps, which I got my diamonds from Plexus today. Emily, have you gotten yours? I got my earrings. So let me just get the elephant out of the room first. Having a big Instagram account has absolutely nothing to do with your success in Plexus. I have had so many people join my team with huge Instagram accounts, hundreds of thousands of followers, and I can't get those girls silver. It does not matter, you guys. What matters is your ability to grow as a person and to connect with other people. So let's just get that out of the way. I don't sign a million people every day. In fact, I've signed one person all month this month. So that really doesn't matter. In fact, it doesn't matter how much experience you've had, how many kids you've had, what your schedule's like, if you work full-time, part-time, it doesn't matter, because we all come to this space with the same opportunity. And yes, some of us have come with different skills than others, but we all have the same opportunity to grow. And so I have been around network marketing since I was 13. My mom supported us, and she actually just retired this past about 3 years ago. And so I've been around it my whole life. But that didn't really make me better at it. I am an Enneagram 7-8. And so I have a tendency to go all in and be all in while it's fun. And the second it stops being fun, I'm like, peace out. I'm going to go try something new. So my staying power hasn't been there. And Plexus has been the first time that I said, no matter what, I'm going to stay the course, because I want to grow into a better person. Right? I want to break this cycle. I'm going to be 40 this year. And I'm like, you know, what are the things that I really want as I turn 40 to kind of like put like a notch in my saddle, you know? And one of those was growing through the hard times, sticking it out. I was just reading, one of the girls I follow on Instagram is a foster mom. And she was talking about, she's got 4 boys. Y'all might follow her too. I can't even think of her name right now, but she fosters all these girls. And one of them has all these health problems. And she was talking about how, you know, so many people are scared of hard, but hard is where the good stuff happens, right? Hard is where the good stuff happens. The momentum is a result of sticking it through the hard. So 3 years ago, I joined Plexus, and it took me 2 weeks to go silver. I posted for 2 weeks and nobody reached out to me. So that big old Instagram account didn't matter. And finally, I'll never forget, we were in a hotel room because we were out of power for 8 days. I was still nursing a babe. It was 800 million degrees. There had been a hurricane, and it was Sunday morning. And I'll never forget, somebody reached out and said, tell me about Plexus. And I was like, oh my God, I think I'm going to go silver. And it was kind of like lit a spark in me, because for 2 weeks I had been posting, I had been reaching out, I had been doing the things and trying to figure this out, right? And so if you're in that season of where are the results, they're coming. I live and die by the fact that if you put the results out, if you put out the effort, the results will come. They always come. They don't always come in our timing when we want them to come, but they come, you guys. And so many times people quit too soon because they're like, this is too hard. You know, I thought it was going to be this way or that way. But the results always come. So I went silver. I actually went fast start gold, added 22 people in 2 weeks. And then I promptly had massive attrition. And I think the next month I had 45 points. Has that ever happened to anybody? I was horrible at customer service, great at getting people to buy welcome packs, okay? So I had a lot of personal growth that had to happen. I actually ended up finally going gold with 100 points, y'all. I had 60 level ones after 3 months. Oh my gosh, that just tells you how much growth I needed, right? I had one other friend who was a silver. So I took myself to gold. And then I had another friend that went gold, and we got to senior gold together that next month. But I decided that I was really going to figure out duplication because I was sucked at it. I was so bad. And so if there's something in your business that you feel like you're not that great at, you can either run from it and be like, oh, well, that's not my strength. I'm not good at that, right? Or you can look it square in the eye and say, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to figure this out. And my upline, Shelly Neasley, I remember being in a chat with her and Trisha. Trisha Rager was, I think, emerald at the time. Clarita was not diamond either. So, you know, here they put this rock star in this chat with Shelly, who's the diamond. And they're like, help her with duplication. Something's wrong. Because I did have big goals and big dreams, but I wasn't duplicating. And she said, yeah, you got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. Something is off if you're adding all these level ones and you're not duplicating. And so I decided at that moment that I was going to be a sponge. I was going to be teachable and coachable. And I remember walking around, duplicating is helping people go silver, helping business builders on your team. Okay. So if you feel like you're the only one working, does anybody feel like that? I'm the only one working. Or you don't have a ton of silvers, okay? This is for you. So I decided that I was gonna become a master duplicator, even though it was definitely my weakness. So what did I do? I watched all the Brooke Hemingway videos because she was really good at it, right? I remember walking around my kitchen like, I am a master duplicator. I'm going to develop all the silvers. And my family starts being like, oh God, here she goes. Because when Yoda, when I start doing that, they know mom is really serious, right? Now I never earned silver stars like Emily. I think Emily earned silver stars. I never did that. But from the moment in December that I decided I was going to figure out duplication, I went from gold to emerald that May. And so it's totally possible, you guys. And then sapphire on my 1-year anniversary. And then I had a really hard year. I had a hard year of up and down and points going backwards and not re-ranking and thinking, oh, what's wrong with me? And then realizing, no, you know how to do this. Stay the course. Do y'all remember that? If you have kids, you probably saw this movie with the penguins, Happy Feet. And all the penguins like huddle together. Anybody see Happy Feet? And they're like, in the cold, we remain, right? And so I'm like, people are quitting, I remain. My points are going backwards, but I remain, right? And so I just decided, you know what? I'm going to grit my teeth. I'm going to do this. I'm going to figure this out, and I'm not quitting. And, you know, you might be like, well, I'm not quitting either, but are you really showing up the best version of yourself? Because the best version of you, right, is getting up before your kids get up, doing your IPA, looking those things square in the eye that you might not be good at, right? And working on yourself daily, because it can be real easy to just go through the motions, right? Put up a post, get some people in the 3-day challenge, sign 3 people, and we get in this rut, right? And I realized that I had to be chasing the best version of me every single day. And y'all, when I really decided that that's what I was going to do, that by the time I laid my head on my pillow at night, I needed to know, no matter who signed up, no matter who quit, no matter what was going on, I chased the best version of me, because I knew what that looked like. And, sometimes we talk ourselves into, well, I tried really hard today, but did you really? Did you go all in? Because I think you would scare yourself if you really went all in. If you really decided to draw your line in the sand and be like, I am doing this, right? And here I am, a sapphire, talking myself into that, right? I mean, it doesn't matter what level you are, we all struggle. So that year was crazy, but I learned so many lessons, you guys. And I ended up adding Jennifer Cobb to my team. Many of you guys know her and love her. She's amazing. I added her under my husband. Do not, let me just tell you, don't build under your husband until you're a diamond, okay? I was bored one month and thought, well, they're doing a double silver bonus, so I'm just gonna add this girl under Drew. Who knows if she'll do the business? So here's the funny thing. Had I added her under me, I probably would have been diamond a year earlier, okay? Because the way the points work. But now I'm a diamond and my husband's a diamond. So it all worked out in the end, but it was stressful. So don't go and build under your husband yet. Promise me, you guys, you need to have a nice, strong diamond team, okay? Before you do this. But so I added Jennifer Cobb, and so I started to build under my husband, and that started to happen. But I thought at one point Drew was going to hit diamond before me. And I'm like, well, I guess this is going to happen this way, and I'm going to have to be okay with it. And in February, I decided, you know what? No, I'm going to go for diamonds. I'm going to go, we're going to go for it together. And I told my team, and we had just re-ranked Sapphire for the first time in a year. But we had some momentum, right? And I said, we're going to go for diamond. And nothing happened. I put a countdown out, and it was like, it was not the right month. Okay. And so then March happened, and I was like, okay, things are picking up, right? But I'm still doing due diligence. And then in April, that was the magical month. And in April, my husband and I, about 2 hours apart, both went diamond. And you guys, our points, I was looking at our points this time last year, and they have quadrupled from last August, September, to what they are now. Here's the encouraging thing. Guess what? I'm doing the same things I was doing last August and September. We just hit a spurt of momentum. And so you got to show up whether you're in momentum or not, because you can't get in momentum again, right? If you don't continue to show up. And this is the way that I think about it. I don't know if we have any surfers in here, but I'm obsessed with podcasts, and I'm obsessed with athletes, listening to athletes. I love Ed Milet. I've listened to all his, which he led me to Gabby Reese. And Gabby Reese, I don't know if you guys know, she's a pro volleyball player, and she is married to a pro surfer. And so I was thinking about this, listening to her podcast, and I was thinking about, a surfer is all about catching that wave and trying to ride it as long as they can, right? Catching that wave of momentum. But think about how many times they go out to surf and the waves aren't that great, or they're having an off day and they're falling off the board, right? But that big wave of momentum is never going to happen if they don't continue to get out there, get on the board, get better day after day after day. And it's the same way with our business, you guys, the same way. So I wrote down 5 things that I have really put into practice that have really, really helped me. Okay. The first thing that I have just like, I was thinking about this today. I have fallen in love with my craft. Do you realize, like, you have a craft? I have a competitive swimmer on in my family, right? And we do private lessons and all the things. You know, he wants to be in the Olympics. Okay. And it's a craft, right? I mean, he's constantly working on his craft. Well, guess what? That's the same in our business. So, you know, I used to say, well, I'm not sciencey. I'm not really good at talking about the products. And then I'm like, no, this is my craft. I need to get good at this, right? And so I'm chasing down things that I'm not good at so I can get better at them, because I have fallen in love with my craft, with my day to day. I love nothing more than when somebody says, sure, I'll watch a 1-minute video. And I say, tell me about your health goals. Like, that process, you guys, is my favorite. I love it. And I could do it over and over and over again. And when a newbie joins, saying to her, listen, who do you know in your life that could benefit from these products? Who do you know that's not sleeping? And listening to her talk about those people in her life and getting better at saying, hey, let's call up your sister. Let's see if she'll be a power partner for you, right? So you want to fall in love with your craft, and then you want to perfect that. Number 2, I am constantly growing myself. And I'm actually doing, have y'all seen that intermittent fasting thing going around? I'm doing it. So my husband did it during quarantine, and he lost 20 pounds, Metaburn, pink drink, and intermittent fasting. And so I'm like, babe, I cannot not eat breakfast. Are you crazy? Like, he's like, just try it. Like, I'm doing the 6-hour window, you know, noon to 6 or whatever. And I fought it for a long time. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do this. I'm going to research it. I'm going to try it. And turns out it's really awesome with Plexus. And it's good. I'm not even doing it for weight loss, just for clear mind and to feel better and all the things, right? And so it goes really great. But I'm constantly trying to grow, to push myself, right? To get better. So I am a podcast junkie, like I said. If you are not listening to, and let me tell you this, not every podcast is for everybody. Like Trisha and I are so funny, because some of the podcasts she recommends, I'm like, nah, that did not do it for me. And I'm sure some that I recommend, she's like, no. So you got to keep going until you find podcasts that you're like, I want to go running and run for an hour so I can actually listen to this, right? Or drive around in my car or whatever. But that is my favorite way, you guys. And I've grown so much listening to them 5-7 times a week, right? Who else do I listen to? Ed Milet is my favorite. Now Gabby Reese. I used to listen to Rachel Hollis, not so much. Let's see. Who else am I listening to? I don't know. Ed Milet has just been my absolute favorite. I love listening to high performance people, because success totally leaves clues, like 100%. And I love listening to successful people, because I'm like, me too. Like, I felt like that too. And it's so encouraging to realize that it didn't just come naturally for these people. They had to actually get in there and do the work, right? Like, that's so encouraging to me. Okay. Number 3, I time block. Time blocking is everything to me. If you aren't time blocking, you are so missing the boat. And so I time block from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. Does it always go perfect? No. But this is what I see happen, right? Life happens, and then you're like, oh, I gotta get my IPA in. And even if you get it in, it's stressful. Your business should not be stressful. You can absolutely have a life. You can absolutely not be on your phone all the time, and your points can be insane. Okay. I am here to tell you that you can have both, but it's going to take you being the best version of yourself to do that. Like, no lazy thinking. Okay. That it takes me really and truly, you guys, being on my A game. And that's part of why I'm doing this intermittent fasting. Cause I'm like, I gotta be on my A game, like 24/7. I gotta be on my A game, even when I don't want to be. So time blocking is just everything for me. And it also gives me release. Does anybody have guilt? Okay. So like, I'm homeschooling my 2nd grader. but I'm thinking about like all the messages, right, that are going off. And I'm like, maybe I should just check my phone. But if you time block, then you do what you need to do, you shut it down, then you do the next thing, and it allows you to be all in whatever you're doing. So I love it. I'm looking at my time here. Okay, number 4, I want you guys to make a list of life-giving things for you. So I am This Loud House on Instagram, and I love decorating and designing, okay? I am not into fashion. I pretty much have mastered the white tee here I wear these 2 necklaces. I don't even know how long I've had them on. Forever. I'm so excited about the plexus earrings because they go with everything. Like, fashion is not my thing. It might be your thing, and that might give you like tons. So what I'm trying to say to you is, when you look at my account, realize I'm not good at everything. I'm good at finding a rug, and I'm good at decorating my house, but I am not a gourmet cook. I am not good at doing my hair or makeup. Okay. So we all have gifts and talents, right? But you need to find things that are life-giving to you, and you must put them in your time blocking. You must. Because I notice that if my kitchen is clean, and I am not a clean freak, okay? But if my kitchen is tidy and my counters are wiped down, do you know how I show up in messages? Do you know how I show up in stories? Do you know how I show up when it's time to follow up with a prospect? Like, I am on. But if my sink is full of dirty dishes, I am like, my brain is scattered. I don't feel confident. So it's going to be something different for everybody, but you got to find life-giving things that help you feel powerful, that help you feel in the zone, because this is attraction marketing. And if we don't feel good, if we don't feel powerful, I know that's a weird word, and you're like, powerful, what does that mean? It means that you feel like the best version of you. If you don't feel like, it's not perfection, okay? It's not perfection. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I might even be in my jammies cleaning my dishes, because the jammies, it doesn't matter, right? But the dishes got to get done. So whatever makes you feel like the best version of you is going to help you show up and attract people to you. They're going to want to be in your space. When you go on stories, they're going to be like, I got to message her. I want what she has. Your team is going to want to run because they want to be in your space. You see what I'm saying? It might be going on a walk with your husband. It might be watching your favorite TV show for 20 minutes every night with your husband. It might be laundry. Maybe you got to have your laundry done to feel like the best version of you. Clearly I don't. See, so when I take these pictures on Instagram, y'all know I move all this to the behind the camera, okay? So you just picture that. That's the secret. But find things that bring you joy, that are life-giving, and you must do those, okay? Because then when you do those, you're going to show up in a whole new way for your business, a whole new way. Okay, and number 5, you guys, you've got to protect your space. I do not share my hopes and dreams with everybody. Emily was just talking about like power partners. I think sometimes she's super blessed because they all grew together. You got to make sure that the people in your space, they encourage you, but they also make you feel a little uncomfortable. You're like, I gotta get it together because I know my girlfriend's getting it together. You see what I'm saying? It's not a party of woe is me. Oh, everybody's ghosting me. Yeah, me too. It's a terrible month. If that's what's happening with your power partner, that's not a good power partner, right? Your power partner should be like, all right, well, how are we going to fix it? Because we can't have a crappy month, right? It's got to be good. So I'm constantly looking around me to say, who am I allowing in my space, right? Who am I absorbing their content? Which, let me say this, one thing that is 100% not life-giving to me, even though I am on Instagram a lot, I do not scroll. I don't scroll. Like, no scrolling at all. Because guess what happens when I scroll? I start comparing myself. Then I start going down this rabbit hole of, well, she's doing this and I'm not good at this. And I do not scroll. I don't even scroll Plexus, guys. So this is the thing. I found a couple of people that I follow on Instagram that are life-giving to me. I don't compare myself. They make me want to be the best version of me, right? And so that is the content that I consume. But you have control over that content, you guys. I don't watch the news. I don't pay attention to anything that doesn't give me life. And it's hard right now. Like, I get it, guys. It's tough. And we got stuff the world's gone bonkers, right? We got stuff all over the place. But you got to protect your space and you got to protect your mind, because you can't show up well if you're stressed out, if you're reading through threads of like all this, stuff going on, right? And I say that because I know we all do it, because I've been caught doing that. And when COVID first started, I was all up in all the things, right? And it was just not life-giving for me, okay? So, and everybody's gonna be different. I'm not saying don't be educated. Yes, but you need to find only the life-giving things. And if something is sucking joy from you, cut that baby out. All right. So those are my tips, you guys. And so I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. What does your time blocking look like? Okay. So like, I get up at 5, I have coffee. I will try and, plan stuff for the day. I need some white space when I get up. So like, I used to work out and do my journal and all the things. And then I realized, I'm just going to sit in my living room and I'm going to enjoy my hot cup of coffee. And I'm just going to kind of think about my day. And that's just what I need. Okay. So everybody's different. But I try and just write every single thing down, everything down. And then there's no surprises. So I like to know, when am I doing my follow-up? When am I doing my reach outs? I always try and get my post ready, right? And it just, to me, I'm like, how can I relieve stress? How can I make life easier? And if I'm prepared, life's a little bit easier, right? Does my husband run his business? Nah, it's kind of like Marianne 2.0. He does love Plexus and supports me, and he cooked dinner tonight. But this is what's so cool. It's allowed my husband to pursue some of his dreams. And so, how many of y'all, your husbands are just showing up for a paycheck, right? Because this is what they've always done. And he's like, hey, what do I really want to do? Like, what do I really want to do? And this income has allowed him to do things he really wants to do that he's passionate about. You know what I mean? But he absolutely is my biggest supporter. Okay, any other questions? That's everything I had to share. I hope you guys will find that. I know it wasn't a lot of like, this is how you work your Plexus business, but you guys know that, right? And this is kind of all the behind the scenes that nobody talks about that I wanted to talk about tonight. You mentioned you don't scroll. Okay, so for my business, what I do is I have like a hot list every single week. I make a new list of people that I want to connect with on social media. So what I do is I copy and paste the link to their profile in the notes section of my phone, so I don't even have to look them up. And I just click on it, comment on their last stuff, click on the next person, comment on their last stuff. So that's how I do it. But I'm very intentional about it. And I only give myself a certain amount of time, because it can be such a time suck, right? Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't type it. I just thought I'd ask you. Okay. I have a question about like finding accounts. Like, I've tried to like branch out on Instagram and like try to find other accounts, but I feel like most of the accounts that I'm finding, they're not like real people, real people. Yeah. They're like, so how do you find like real people on Instagram and not people that are trying to promote a business? Or
I know, like that, it's tricky. Growing on Instagram is super tricky right now. And a lot of people have private accounts too, right? And so what I do is I find hashtags. Like let's say you're a homeschool mom or something. So you type in homeschool mom hashtag. And then I just scroll through and I kind of look and I'm like, oh, that looks like somebody I would be friends with, or, ooh, her content is interesting. And so I kind of keep a running list, or I'll follow the hashtag. I will, if there's somebody you do love that you find that's inspirational, right? So like let's say there's a decor account that I love. I'll go and look at the comments and see who's commenting. And then I'll go look at their feed, because I'm like, clearly we have something in common. We really like this account. We love Studio McGee or whatever it is, right? And so if there's an account that you love that's kind of like a rock star account, go look at the people that are commenting, because you guys clearly have one big thing in common.
I liked, Marianne, I think that this is what you told me a few weeks or months ago about, and you kind of touched upon this, about how you can find people that have huge Instagram accounts, and it is way easier for you to get those people who have like less than like 1,500 followers who might have private accounts. It's easier for you to get those people to have the businesses and to start launching their businesses, rather than those that have huge accounts. And that was really inspiring to me, because when I first started with Instagram, I was looking for people that were influencers and that had really big accounts. And honestly, the few that have worked with me that have had huge accounts, they're in and out super fast. So I thought that was really, really encouraging. I love what Hannah asked about.
I love working with like teachers, nurses. So I'll do teacher and nurse hashtags and go looking around and see, you know, who I find. So yeah, no, the big influencers, you guys, they just want to do a swipe up and be done. So it's tough for them to work the Plexus business. Most of the people, 99% of the people that join on Instagram for me are private accounts that actually work Facebook. So they find me through Instagram, but then they have a big network on Facebook and they work Facebook.
Hannah asked if you could share your duplication system in just a few points.
Yeah, so it's pretty much like, I just steal everything from Brooke Hemingway. But in fact, I just sent this to my new girl that wants to run. Let me tell you guys the name of it. And she did it a couple years ago. Emily, you probably remember. It's so good. Oh, hang on. I just sent it. Road to Recruiting and Developing Silvers. So good. So I basically start the duplication process at the very beginning. When I always send the triplex video, and, you know, I ask them, what do they think? What do they relate to? And they tell me, and then I say, well, who else in your life did you think of that could benefit from these products? You know, who else do you know that could benefit from better sleep, or whatever their thing was? And then I'd be quiet and I just plant that seed. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, if you decide to do this, they could be a power partner with you. We have a great referral program. So I just plant the seeds. And then when I'm signing them up, I'm like, you know, this link right here is your referral link, the business link, right? I explain why they need the social. If you ever refer people, you're going to get compensated. So I'm just like planting those seeds, because then as soon as they join, they will never be more excited when they join. And then you got to wait until when they start to see results. And that could be, who knows, right? I mean, everybody's so different. So I always ask them immediately to post. Lately, I've been seeing huge success with asking people to give me a shout out. It's so funny. People don't want to do anything for themselves. Sometimes they'll help friends. But if I'm like, listen, would you give me a shout out on Facebook? Like, it would just mean the world to me. And this is what you can say. Now, clearly, when their friends reach out, I'm going to start three-way chats with them, and I'm going to sign them up, right? I'm going to help them go silver. I'm not going to sign them up under me. I'm going to help those, you know, people sign up and go silver. But I've seen really good success with that. And then that just starts the duplication process. I keep it really, really, really simple. I don't add them to a lot of stuff right away, you know, team page, that kind of thing. We do a newbie orientation every single Thursday night. And that's really helped. And we get everybody on Happy Wholesalers. And the beginning part, I talk about the products. And then the second part, I talk about our referral program. And so we've seen a lot of duplication from that. But duplication happens, I feel like, in the trenches, in the nitty gritty, and asking the conversations and being a little investigator, finding out who in their life, could benefit. So that's kind of how I do it. We do a Zoom. I live on Zoom. I love Zoom.
Do you have one of those that you wouldn't mind sharing with me so I could see how you do that? Okay, thanks, girl. Does anybody else
I was going to say that Launching Strong that Brianne Coolidge did, that's what we use. It's in the Jules page.
Okay.
I am very good at duplicating what other people do. Just copying what super smart people do.
Don't reinvent the wheel. That's what I was talking about. She's just like doing the basic things. She is doing the IPAs, and I've got 4 pages of notes here, but one of the first things that you said was like, hard is when the good stuff happens, and momentum is what comes from the hard, and you just don't stop. Like for that full year, when you were sitting at Sapphire, that was hard because you had skyrocketed so quickly and then you hit a rock. And so for a year, you told me you had to rebuild. You were in that rebuilding phase, but you didn't stop. And I love what you said about so many people quit too soon. And if you continue doing the IPAs, you continue doing the dang things, the basic things, the IPA things, and you don't stop and you're continuing to grow yourself in that personal development, you're surrounded with the good people, the positive the people who are encouraging you and lifting you up. And like you said, you don't want to be left behind, so you're going to keep up with them. If you're surrounded by those people, you are going to continue to grow, and that fulfillment in you is going to continue to grow. And so I love all the things that you're sharing. And you guys, I have quite a few posts in Rising Jewels and our team page that I've taken from Marianne through conversations with her or through some of her training videos. So just in the search bar in Rising Jewels, just type in Marianne Anderson, and you'll see like step by step of what she does when people say, when they reach out to her, whether it's through, clicking on a poll or they've shown interest in the products, like step by step of how she helps guide those people. I don't want to not waste, this is beautiful, but I don't want to take any more of your time because it's like 10:15 your time where you are. And I so appreciate you taking so much time to pour into our team. I have so many amazing notes, and I know that our team is just like so excited because it's not rocket science. And I just so appreciate your love and your wisdom. You guys go check her out, This Loud House. And then she's got a lot of people on her team who also are Instagram influencers. A Clean Prism Life, that's Jenny, right? And then what is Jennifer Cobb again?
J Cobb Home, and she is actually going to be training on Saturday Express Live, you guys. I got a sneak peek at her training. Oh, it's all about prospecting on Instagram. It is going to be so good. So if you want Instagram, Jen is going to be, it's going to be really good on Saturday.
Okay, yay, Marianne.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited. Congratulations to you guys. It's so awesome.
Thank you, and thank Drew for sharing you with us.
I will.
We'll talk to you later. Bye, you guys.